We got an email, we read it, and we were like, yeah, this is way above our pay grade. We need to call somebody in with in-depth knowledge of this situation. And the email says that her boyfriend wants to transition into a woman, and she's not sure how to handle the situation. And so she wants support, she wants to support their journey, but she also doesn't know if this is a relationship that she can remain in. So we have brought in a friend of the Bert Show, Sarah. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
And you had been on the show with us before when we did for lack of we did like an Ask a Gay panel, right?
Yeah, that sounds a little strange, but yeah.
Yeah, out of context, when we're not doing it during Pride Month, it sounds weird in December to be like, so we did Ask a Gay.
Right.
I believe the politically correct term was LGBTQ plus panel.
Yes.
There we go.
And yours was a very unique situation.
Yes, it was. So hopefully I can do this justice.
I'm sure you can. So just explain to everybody a little bit about your relationship and why we brought you in here to offer some advice.
Okay, well, my name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her. My husband is a transgender male. He has been my girlfriend, fiance, wife, and husband. So,
Do you celebrate each one of those, by the way?
Well, actually, his medical transition date is the anniversary of our wedding. He was like, do you mind if we do this? Next year is going to be our wedding date. And I'm like, yes, I cannot remember another anniversary. So
that works.
My husband can remember like his ex-girlfriend's dog's birthday. And I'm like, when's my mom's birthday again? I think I got it, So, yes. That is why I was here.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when we got this email, we're like, okay, we know who to call.
All right. And so the email reads, Hi, Bert Show. My name is Alana. I'm from England. A longtime listener and a big fan. I desperately need some advice from the Bert Show fam as I don't have many friends I can come to about this. I'm 27, a straight female. My boyfriend is a 20-year-old bisexual male. We've been together about 3 months now, but I've been friends for over a year before we got together. We have what I would consider is the perfect relationship. We care so much about each other, have said the L word. He's so loving and sweet. I haven't felt this way about somebody in a long time. He truly means the world to me after only a short period of time. Well, we went out for dinner the other night, and he told me some big news. My boyfriend is transgender and wants to become a woman. What? I don't want to sound insensitive to the LGBTQ plus community. My own mother is a lesbian, and I have several gay friends, but this has come out of nowhere. Yeah, he likes show tunes, but we're theater kids. Honestly, I'm in shock. After I'd stopped crying, we spoke a lot in depth, and he told me he wants to go fully in, makeup, hair, clothes, the works, but not have the bottom surgery yet as it scares him. I am heartbroken because I feel like our relationship is over. The future I had pictured can't happen anymore. The man I fell in love with will change. I love his personality and who he is at his core, but I am not gay. If he transitions into a woman, I will be here to help every step of the way, but I don't know how a relationship would work when I'm not attracted to women. We love each other so much, and he's hoping there is a way to stay together, but neither of us are okay with opening up the relationship. So please, Bert Show, if you have any advice, I'd be really grateful to hear, as I am completely lost.
Yeah, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I would say this as somebody on the outside looking in, is that give yourself some grace on having these mixed feelings for a while.
Yeah.
This is jarring. You thought your life was heading in one direction, and now all of a sudden it's heading in the other. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is. That's going to be jarring either way. And there's probably guilty feelings of like, well, I said that I was going to love this person unconditionally, and now it's all changing. Did I even really mean that? So give yourself a little bit of grace there.
Yes, I actually wrote a little disclaimer for the very beginning, so hopefully everyone can have the appropriate open ears from both sides. And I want to make sure I do this justice because it is a very heavy email on both sides of things. And I wanted to make sure I got it right. I did a lot of homework for this one.
You're sweet.
First and foremost, it is important to me to say that I can only speak for myself based off my collective experiences. I would ask for anyone in the community listening if that email struck a nerve to give her grace, as she has no knowledge in this realm and has had her life as she knows it turned upside down. I give her so much praise for reaching out to help and not just running away as so many do. It speaks volumes to me of the love she has for her spouse.
For sure.
Now I can speak freely, but I just wanted to make sure that is known, because that email, when I wrote it, at first, I was asked, hey, can you come on and talk about how to support your trans spouse? I was like, yes, I got this. I do this on the daily. And when I read it, I went, oh.
You're like, who can I call?
This is very different. And the email, I can guarantee you at least a handful of people went, this is very alarming and this is really not okay that she said it this way. But people forget that you have to give people grace. And this is why people have such a hard time asking the questions, is they're afraid of the backlash. So in my life, in multiple occasions, I've become kind of like the queer liaison, like kind of the person that brings the world together. So I feel very honored to be able to do this. And I really hope that I can help. So
when your transgender husband came to you and said, this is what I want to do, how did that play out for the both of you?
Well, I knew first.
Oh.
I already knew. It wasn't my first rodeo. That situation had happened to me before. But what was different is I did not expect how much it would affect me in the sense of having to change my identity like that. I had fought so hard to be a lesbian in a very conservative town. Roswell was not as open as it is now. And as a hairstylist, to say she instead of he when being asked about my partners, that when I had to all of a sudden switch to a straight passing person, it really hit me to my core like, no, I fought this hard to be this way. I am this way. I don't want to be looked at this way. And it really took everything in me for someone to be like, hey, is this your husband? And be like, yes, but don't worry, he's trans. I'm queer. Like, I'm not straight. I'm not in that club. You can be, but whatever. But that outs my spouse. So I'm in a very different, but almost kind of same realm of worrying about the identity part, if that makes sense.
It does. You're so well spoken about this. I'm so glad we brought you in.
Well, listen, this is a big thing to talk in such a short amount of time. I was back there. And I don't think that, he's so wonderful. His name starts with a K.
Cavante?
Cavante.
Yeah, couldn't have been Kay Lee.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't identify that way.
He doesn't identify as kind.
I was going to say, well, he doesn't identify that way either, but he sat and learned, and he just sat there, and I was like, I bet you had no clue this morning that you were about to learn all this. I gave him the genderbread person that I gave you all too. Right?
So tell us about our genderbread person that we have in front of us.
So the big thing when I read this email is she talked a lot about identity, and I'm not a lesbian, and this person is going to change, and this is kind of like very breaks it down to its very baseline, right? So in this front of us, we have, it looks like a genderbread man, but we call it genderbread person. You've got a rainbow brain pointing to identity, attraction pointing at a heart, sex and where the organs are, and then expression is all over. One thing you'll see is none of these are tied together. They're all separate entities. So for me, I am cisgendered, meaning I was born in the same body as my gender. I express in glitter and glitz and femme. And my identity is queer. And none of that, all that can change. I have been straight, bi, lesbian, and queer. It's an evolving thing. Just like Bert, if you came in one day in a tutu and said, I'm still Bert, I'm still male, but I really want to wear tutus, all for you.
Okay.
That's the difference of expression. It does not change the core.
Okay.
Meaning,
thank you for giving me that freedom. Boy, do I have a surprise for you guys tomorrow.
Here's the thing is, just because you're not a lesbian doesn't mean you're not going to be attracted to your partner. They're not women. They are that person. So you might be surprised. And I think one thing about this email that is very I feel like I need to figure this out right away. I need to figure this out. But here's the thing is, relationships can end at any time. It doesn't mean you have to figure this out in this moment. You can say, you know what? Let's see how I feel. The number one thing you can do right by this partner is giving the relationship a chance, as long as your goal is to do right by them. And sometimes that does mean leaving. But sometimes that means staying and giving it a chance and not trying to put this end date on it. You know what I mean?
Obviously it is, and you're 1,000% accurate, Sarah, when this is it's a very nuanced, layered email. There's a lot to cover in it. If Alana's like, yeah, I can't do this, I can imagine somebody in that position would feel so bad. How do you forgive yourself for that? Well,
once again, it comes down to sometimes doing the right thing by that person is leaving.
Okay.
You know, it really does, because transitioning is hard enough, right? But here's the thing is, it's also hard on the partner. And that's not really talked about as well. Because, you know, someone who's going through the motions is being immediately attacked, right? They're having to change. They're going through puberty again at 50 sometimes, you know. But sometimes the partners are left being like, okay, my life just got turned upside down. How do I handle this? So I would suggest her go to therapy either way. Before even making this decision at any point, go to therapy, not to figure out how to help your partner, but to figure out your own emotions about the whole thing. You might find that part of you is just worried about what people will think, or that you've identified this certain way. And also, by you going to therapy, you're allowing that partner the freedom to figure themselves out without having to worry about you and your opinions and your emotions. My biggest advice would be, if you need to like figure it out per se, give it 3 months. Everything cycles out in 3 months. Like our bodies, it takes 3 months to lose or gain weight easily. Why not give it 3 months for your heart too? You know? Now, I do have a really great reference for them. There is actually this person named Shay on TikTok. She was born male, and him and his wife have 3 kids, and they're in the Mormon religion. And then he came out as trans later in life. Like, when I mean later, I mean like way later. And his Mormon wife went, all right, let's see if we can figure it out. And it's actually made them happier than ever. Those things that she said, I'm worried, like, I love this person to the core. Things are going to change. Who's to say they're not going to change for the better? When you're trying to not have to hide yourself, you're not getting that full person to begin with. You're getting whatever they feel comfortable with. You might be surprised that when that relief goes, they might be like so much cooler and so much better. So that person's TikTok is Shay Scott, SHEYESCOTT.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
did.
Hopefully
Did
that
a really
helped.
great job.
And thanks for the gingerbread person.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not delicious, but they are informative.
The Bert Show.